So I put on the Mandalorian with Les, and then suddenly we get to the credits, the little musical stinger,
Yeah.
like yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then Lisa, like Lisa bursts out
Like,
like,
runs into the room from her office, yeah, every so Nick's
"What's going on?"
now. Yeah, so Nick and I are in the living room. He says set turn on the Mandalorian for us. No, I was standing near the couch getting ready to leave the room, and Nick's settling into Mandalorian, and all of a sudden Lisa bursts in like it's Rex Manning Day, like just full energy, and like just like comes around the corner. Is that the Star Wars theme?
I love that she clearly thought you like one you were like someone had like something happened to you.
Like it's a break-in. That's not less. What have
That's
you
a
done?
Yeah.
or someone broke in
Yes.
and put
Yes.
on. No, that's not. No, Les would
No.
not. No, or like
Shit. What have you done with my husband?
I like the idea
So
that
yeah.
Les that should be your code. If you get in, like if you are
Yeah.
under
If there's a
duress,
changeling,
Right,
yeah, that's what I was
right.
thinking. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
honey, I'm just sad that I won't be home tonight to rewatch the prequels.
Oh
like
shit!
that.
Call the
Oh
police.
God, let's just.
Episode 427 of the TV Dudes, recorded March 16th, 2023. History of the World, Part 2. This week, Mel Brooks and a star-studded writer's room give us a sequel 40 plus years in the making. History of the World Part 2 on Hulu. We also got the return of Ted Lasso on Apple Plus, a new CW superhero show in Gotham Knights, the finale of Last of Us on HBO Max, and the latest episodes of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus and Party Down on Starz. Before we get to all that, I'm Randy.
I'm Les.
And I'm Nick. And fuck Nate.
Yeah, this was much
You don't like
debate.
the Wonder Kid?
I believe I said Wonderkind.
Pretty sure I said Wonderkind.
I'm pretty sure.
There was much discussion. I had a watch party for Ted Lasso, and there were 3 people there, and I was like, I hope they can redeem Nate, and everyone there was like, no, fuck Nate, no redemption arc for him.
No, they will. Like that's going to
the-
be the whole focus of the season.
Angry,
you know?
the part that makes me angry is I know they're going to redeem him and get me back with him.
Yeah,
And it's
I
so
don't know how they're going to
obvious.
do it, but I know they're going to succeed, and I'm going to hate them for it.
No, how they're going to do it is because of how he looks at Rupert and Daddy
Yeah.
Love Me, and that's going to
Yeah.
get us. And it's like I'm so mad. I'm mad about a character redemption that hasn't happened yet.
I think you're mad now. Wait till they win you over.
I know.
They will be furious.
No, I want Roy and fucking Coach Beard to fucking
Is that really Roy
his
Kent?
ass.
Roy Kent, is that you?
Get fucked.
Yeah, it's him.
That's how you know. That's how you got to check for Roy Kent's. Get fucked.
All right. Let's real quick do our appetizers, and
Indeed.
why don't I guess I'll go ahead and start this week. And it was a good week for TV for me. I mean, Ted Lasso's back. My friend Morgan came over. We've been watching Shrinking. She doesn't have Apple Plus, so we waited until there was another batch. We'd watch 1 through 4. So not only did I watch episode 8 of Shrinking, but I watched episodes 5 through 8 of Shrinking again. And man, that show really holds up for me. I really think it's getting better and better as it goes along. And I honestly think it's one of my favorite things Harrison Ford's ever done. Him playing, now that he has settled down and realized he's an old fucking man and decided to go ahead and play that role and play grumpy old Harrison Ford, it's so much more fun.
Sure.
There's also, this week had a fantastic bit where Jessica Williams goes to her ex-husband's art show, only to discover that he has cleaned himself up for another woman, and she has a fantastic rant at him about that toward the end. It's amazing. I also watched Bad Batch, which continues to be really, really good. I'm not going to try and convince either of you of that, but I know that the people loving Bad Batch, we all love it right now.
I'm barely watching The Mandalorian. Take the win.
Yes, but I don't care whether you watch Star Wars or not. It's not a win for me.
You want to get less? Is that the get?
There's no getting less. I'm gonna sit less for a big time for a big bowl of onion soup while we watch Star Wars. That's what's gonna happen.
Yes.
I watched the latest episode of Ghosts, which I always forget what the episode was each week after I watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, Weekend in Hell.
Man.
Yeah.
Them having to teach Pete, now remember your training. Hit the balls.
Yes. Is it Matt Walsh? Isn't that the guy's name from
Yes,
Upright Citizens Brigade who's playing her?
Yeah,
her
that's
ex?
playing her ex. Yeah.
What a fun role that's got to be, playing the biggest douchebag in the world.
And of all the things, like the show remains really funny and also really sweet. it actually really worked for me that the pen just wouldn't work
Yeah,
until she meant it. Like, she's
yeah,
gotta sign a
yeah.
deal about meaning his, forgiveness to let him out of hell, and she's like,
Yep.
"Yeah, whatever, I'll sign the fucking thing." And, like, it
Huh.
until she really means it, of course, the pen just won't work.
Yeah, yeah. There's some nice little world building going on behind the scenes and all this, like where they just slowly are building up the rules of the ghosts and the afterlife.
I love that they fully gotten to a point of, like, "You read this part so that you feel part of it." Like, to the
Oh
husband.
man,
Like, she
Jay's
keeps giving
Jay's
him
whole bit,
things for Jay
Jay's
to
bit
do.
where he's just reading and they're all freaking out,
Yeah.
and she's like, "You need to stop reading now."
Why?
Yeah, that was
What
that's
because of the list?
what's
Because no, because it's right, because Pete's,
uh,
nephew got a retainer or something like that, and, like, "Oh,
right,
is everybody
right.
freaking out?" I mean, it's really cool. No,
It was pretty
portal
cool.
to hell?
No, a
No, I
portal
feel
to hell
totally
literally
part of
just
this.
opened.
Yeah, I feel really part of it.
I watched the second episode of Grand Crew season 2, which I thought was a big improvement on season 1 or episode 1, and kind of got me back in the swing of things. Really enjoying that show, and watched the 5th episode of Picard just today, which that show's getting better and better. Like if they finally kind of hit on what it should be, which is basically just a Star Trek Next Generation take a bow and reunion, and they're doing some fun stuff with the shapeshifters, and they've got a new captain played by like a super huge Star Trek fans, Todd Stashwick.
Oh
This guy
shit.
like has like Star Trek tattoos. Like he's like,
Yeah, he runs, Hollywood D&D games and stuff, yeah, that'd be Middleman's Own Todd Stashwick.
oh shit. Yeah, he is playing the grumpiest, Roy Kentiest Star Trek captain I've ever seen. He's just so over all of it. He fucking hates Picard and Riker and all their cowboy bullshit, and just wants to fly his spaceship around, man. And nobody will let him. It's great. He's they started him off as kind of a dick, and now he is a hilarious dick.
Is that Stashwick as captain? I don't know. Let's check. Stashwick, is that you? Get space
Get
fucked.
fucked.
That's him.
I my buddy Nick at work asked me if I was watching the latest Top Chef, which I didn't realize was on, and realized that I had missed an entire season of Top Chef, which was the Houston season. So I binged an entire season of Top Chef this week, which is always fun. And the Houston season was good. It also had the nice realizing that 19 seasons in, they no longer have like their Marcells and their shitty like Puck from the Real World guys. They don't bring in people who are like drama queens. They just bring in good chefs, and they're all like they all want to succeed. It's all more uplifting, and it's definitely a lot more fun to watch than your average reality show because it's like, oh, it's all about them cooking and they all like each other and nobody's a dick, and that's a lot more fun for me to watch. So as a foodie, I enjoy that show. Um, and then the latest Quantum Leap, which Les, you caught up or are you one
Yep.
behind
No,
again?
I'm caught up. Yeah.
I even
Nice,
caught some of that.
Yeah.
nice. The I thought that seeing someone else in the hologram chamber was super fun.
That was awesome, and they got to do a couple of things that were just I again, this every week this show manages to find some tiny way to twist Quantum Leap to keep it fun while also just being a solid Quantum Leap show. Like it's a cool, leap of the week and everything. But yeah, man, having their security officer, like, well, I mean, I technically have a law degree. I kept getting in trouble and just figured. But when they put her in the chamber and
Perfect.
he keeps running into problems and she just solves them like completely different than Mallory. Like,
And the bit where she's like, "Here, give him $50, give him this tip." She's like, "You've
yeah.
never done this before?"
Come on, man. You have
When she
Marty
says,
McFly's
"You party
almanac.
with
You,
the
you mean you
Sparks
don't solve
almanac."
every week like this?
That
It kind of
was
makes you. I wonder. I haven't watched the show, but guys, how many problems would have been solved had they been had an access
Why
to
didn't
a
he just
pretty
he
large amount of
bought the
money?
family's restaurant?
yeah. Oh yeah, the family's restaurant. They absolutely could have fixed that in a
And I
heartbeat.
just love her like, what the hell are you talking about? You don't have money. You have the future. Like,
yeah, that
My
was pretty
favorite part
great.
was the
oh, I showed Nick her yeah, her
drowning
inspirational
rabbit
speech.
story. Or
Oh,
Yeah.
the drowning rabbit
I
story.
don't
Yeah,
really do I
yeah.
don't really do inspirational speeches, but ooh, this does remind me of a story about drowning rabbits. No, just one rabbit. Yes. Okay. So this rabbit drowned. Like, I'm going somewhere with this, I swear.
I swear to God, like he's quiet through the whole thing, just looking at her like I know. God,
And
I'm going.
is that the end of your story? Okay, that's horrible.
Well, that's horrible and helps
Yeah.
me in
Is
this
this a
way.
brain teaser? No, it's a story.
Yeah. By the way, what a super great metaphor though. The idea that basically he's at both ends of the rabbit story. Like I'm like, holy shit, that makes sense. Yeah, he
It
is doing
does,
both
except
things.
for the time travel they're doing. It's not
Like, that
true.
doesn't really help me today.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
that implies he can go back and be in two places at once, which is
Right,
not what the
right.
We're
quantum
really
leap
not running
is.
it. But I did like the like, my God, no public defender can do this. How could I possibly, I'm just one person reading, and the immediate like, dude, you have like an AI supercomputer and a military project in the future tasked
Yeah.
to solve this stupid public defender case. Like, you realize Magic right now has gone and gotten the present day Manhattan DA
Yeah. Yeah.
to go through
Yeah.
this case, right?
Yep. Yeah.
It gives me a hope for AI exactly for ChatGPT that you can train it to become your own lawyer.
Right? Let's have it be
Yeah.
Ziggy.
I'm kind of like, hey, maybe if Skynet doesn't take over us all, it's gonna help us out of some legal trouble.
I mean, I saw something today that apparently the new iteration of Chat Scat GPT. No,
No.
that's where we're going with it, though. Don't let it train on Twitter.
It's
It's
coming,
just,
Les. It's coming.
but that it's one of the things they measure for is how well it could probably pass the bar, and it's getting really close.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure ChatGPT is already more human, say Ben Shapiro or Tucker Carlson. So
It's definitely funnier.
Well, they're too busy teaching it about what death is. So,
God,
like,
stop it.
just trying
Stop it.
not to. They just wanted to not tweet white supremacist things. You know,
Right?
they just want
Just-
to baseline, just not have it turn to a Nazi inside of a day of being programmed.
Like, if you've got a robot that makes cars in Detroit, teach it, the manual to how to build cars. Don't give it Frankenstein. The fuck is wrong with you?
my name is Christine.
No, stop it. Stop it.
The problem is, it's all run by scientists, and scientists like to fuck around.
Right.
So and we're all gonna find out as a society together.
The problem with the scientist is that a good enough reason could just be cuz.
Because
Because
Like in
Dr.
Megan.
Stashwith dared me to.
I kind of wondered if I could do it.
even in Megan, when she's like adding more features to the robot, her own team is like, but why would you want a child's toy to do that?
Yeah.
Well, it has a titanium coating, so you'll never have to need another time again. Like,
Like,
motherfucker.
Okay, that's against
no.
our whole business model.
Well,
Why would
one,
you
the-
want
one business model wise.
Also-
hey, we need to make money off this thing, so sell it into a
I know what was wrong with
breakable
Teddy
model.
Ruxpin? It wasn't, indestructible and had to be nuked from space to kill a Furby. Like,
Just from a business perspective, like we need to sell replacement parts for this. You're drying up a whole industry. From
Well,
a
you don't
moral
want it to be
standpoint,
indestructible.
why are you building a
yeah,
murder
well,
bot?
you can't make everlasting gobstoppers. Also, why are they poisoned?
Well, I'm sure they'll get all into all this in Mem Forgan when they do the sequel.
Oh God, I'm so mad that it's not M4gan.
It's gonna be M3gan too. That's just
Yeah,
it's just gonna be
M3gan. And
that,
actually, honestly, M3gan 2 is so stupid. I'm for it.
yeah. All right.
No, it's M3gan 2 6, and that's the name of the new bot.
I feel like you're just being willfully weak.
That is my appetizers for the week. What do y'all got?
Let's see. A lot of what Nick and I watched is going to completely overlap this week because we're in the same house.
Right.
So we watched an amazing movie, just spectacular, called Doom Asylum.
Oh my God, Doom
It is
Asylum.
about people, and a rock band and an asylum, then Doom. It also has Charlotte from Sex and the City in her very first role,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's
Wow.
fun.
She gets her face
Yeah,
shoot in
face
half.
sawed in
half.
I-
Yeah.
It's one of the. I don't know what people think with it. In the IMDb goofs for this movie, you can clearly tell that it's a plastic head when they cut into her face. No shit.
That's the goof.
That's the goof.
That's the thing that didn't quite
Fucking
add up for you.
Move your bar. Like, that's not a goof. That's just how horror movies work.
Well, just
I
the
don't, think,
fact
I
that,
don't think they really scarred the Sex and the City actress.
how about the fact that they don't
her first
explain how the main character is alive?
Not at all. There's no magical explanation. Like, so it's
She just wakes up in the morgue.
the movie opens with a car accident. That guy gets taken to the morgue, but he's not dead. He wakes up, he kills both the guys that are trying to autopsy him for some reason. And then it cuts to like fucking 20 years later, and that dude is still in the asylum, which is closed down, and is still alive somehow, and is still murdering people that wander past the asylum, I guess. Which
Because he wants to bring
includes
back
his half daughter or
his
daughter,
girlfriend, whose
girlfriend's-
daughter is now there.
Yeah, same actress plays the girlfriend and the daughter, which is awkward and is awkward.
Oh,
It is
you
awkward.
want to talk about awkward less? How about the fact that the boyfriend character, in which that they call him the girlfriend calls him mom.
Yes. Oh yeah. At the start of the movie, the girlfriend, because it's the anniversary of her mom's death, obviously, so they're going to the asylum. Yeah, it makes no sense. And she asked her boyfriend, "Hey, today can I call you mom?" And he's like, "Sure."
Wow. I
Which
mean,
which it makes no sense when she asks it, but it really makes no sense when she then consistently does it.
Mom,
wow.
Yeah, even to other friends, like, "Hey, is that mom up there?" "Yeah."
yeah,
"No,
the other
I'm not
characters
playing
start to
along
get
with
on it.
this."
Like, wait, why? This is so weird
Like, I
already.
wish everybody had been like, "Stop,
Hey, come on up, give me a kiss, Mom. I can't do that. That would be incest. What
what?
movies are we watching?
Stop talking about this." Yeah. Oh god, it was so weird. Doom Asylum. Mm.
Speaking of incest, Les,
Oh, yes, but then we also watched, Satan's Little Helper, uh, which has Amanda Plummer and, is also very incest. I'll let Nick talk about that one on his.
oh, fuck you.
Uh,
Go straight to hell.
we also I kept up on Daisy Jones, which they're dropping 3 a week. Yeah, I'm really enjoying that show, but it's very lazily paced, it feels. Each episode ends really well, like they know how to structure their episode, but it's weird dropping them 3 at a time. Um, kept up on Party Down, which we'll discuss in the dessert. Watched some 30 Rock, Quantum Leap. Uh, finished out since we finished out Poker Face, I've now gone back and started rewatching it. Damn, it's so good. So fucking
Yeah.
good. Every episode.
That's next time I rewatch. Now that we're through, now that we're caught up on uh shrinking more or less. Morgan is my TV watching buddy, and I'm like, we're gonna do Poker Face next, and you're gonna love it. So
I also, because I read a long article, I think in BET, on their site or something, about the Chris Rock special, and how he just kind of whines disorganized for an hour about how woke culture sucks, but also he's a victim.
okay, look, I don't want to get off our rant here, but fuck Chris Rock.
People won't let me say stuff.
I'm never gonna watch it. But my buddy Dave watched like 5 or 10 minutes of it, and he's like, I had to turn it off. He's like, you should watch it just to hate watch it. I'm like, no, I can hate it without seeing it because I've heard what this motherfucker's been saying, and I've seen every article in the last year of him trying to have his fucking cake and eat it too. About, oh no, I took that hit like I was a boxer. It was no big deal. I took a big hit, but he's so much bigger than me and bullied me. I'm like, you can't have it both ways, motherfucker. Either it's no big deal and you just shut the fuck up about it, or he hurt you really bad and he needs to apologize, which he fucking has, and you've never said a word
No, he
about
apologized to
insulting his
everyone
fucking
but Will
wife.
Smith. Yeah.
Like,
Uh,
like,
so
yeah.
if you want to see a stand-up comic do an hour-long set entirely about
don't-
the Chris Rock
Why don't
slap,
you and Dave Chappelle go cry and jerk off for an hour and call it a Netflix specials, you
Go-
fucking dildos?
Go to it in Joe Rogan's fucking anti-woke club that he's ruined the Alamo for.
well, of all people, you can jump over to HBO and watch Marlon Wayans fucking
What?
crush it for an hour. And the
Marlon
entire
Wayans
set is only about the Chris Rock slap.
smokes Chris Rock. I
It-
Oh
cannot
shit, I gotta
stress
watch
that enough.
this.
And I'm not kidding. It is both funny and also the mature, like really thinking about it
is-
as an adult
it is
take on it.
the-
That you wish Chris Rock as
it's
a
the
as a
well-thought-
fucking legendary comic. This
This
is
is
what
a
Chris
well
Rock could have done.
thought out takedown and send up of both Will
Yes.
Smith and Chris Rock
And
as,
Jada Pinkett and
Jada Pinkett.
and Marlon Wayans, honestly.
Okay, all right,
But
you got my
it-
interest.
it's
That has
called
my
God.
interest.
It's called God Loves Me, and the entire premise of it
It
is
is-
that he.
God,
So he's Marlon Wayans. His whole family is famous and has been
Yeah,
in
yeah.
comedy, particularly
Yes.
like in black comedy circles forever. And so he's known. I mean, he's not besties with him, but he's known Chris Rock. He's met the man personally since they were
Yeah.
like fucking 15 or 16.
Yeah.
And like so Marlon should have been the rib man in I'm Gonna Get You
I'm gonna
Sucker.
get you, sucker. Yeah.
And Chris Rock got the role because
Mm-hmm.
Marlon was in school. He was like, my own brother gave that to Chris Rock instead of me. And I'm like, what the fuck is a Chris Rock? And, but he's got like 3 instances in his life where Chris Rock is pointedly the comic that either took a role off of him or heckled the shit out of him or stole a girl. Like just he's got a bunch of stories of like, man, I know Chris Rock. He's like, and so that's why I know for certain. I don't know what the rest of y'all, but God loves me. It's like because he tells one of the two, he's like, I wanted to kill Chris Rock. And I asked, he's like, at one point in my life, I asked God for the strength to kill Chris Rock. And God said, no, vengeance will be mine. And at 10:32 p.m. Eastern time, it was. He's like, you watch Will Smith's laughing at the joke, and then a spell comes over him, and he stands up like a robot, and he walks up and slaps Chris Rock's taste out of his fucking mouth.
I did
It's
it.
me. That was me.
I did it.
I put the spirit of Tupac Shakur in Will Smith.
He didn't want to do it. I made him do it.
I mean, it's a whole hour bit about like knowing Jada since they were teens. No, like meeting Will when she was like, I'm excited to tell you about this dude I'm dating. Like, Also, he does really good. It's not hard to do a Chris Rock impersonation, but he does a good one.
Mhm.
He
Okay.
does a
All
he
right.
does a good Will Smith impersonation. Like it's Marlon Wayans. Like I did not expect like a killer fucking. He doesn't really do stand up. He does
Yeah.
everything
No.
else, but he
Yeah.
doesn't really do stand up. I of all the things, like when I read the article that was like, so a couple of days before Chris Rock's special, Marlon Wayans dropped an entire set only about that subject. That's better, and I had to go watch it, and it is. I would
That's
recommend
great.
Marlon Wayans. God Loves Me. Holy crap, it was really good. So let's see. We also watched a movie called Emergency that is fantastic. It's over
Hell
on
yeah.
Amazon. It's an Amazon original. It is. If you watch the trailer, you can't quite figure out if it's going to come down on comedy or horror movie. And I don't mean that because it's a horror comedy or like Cabin in the Woods or something. It's just the subject matter could either be really bad,
The
like
subject matter is inherently funny and
and
scary.
scary. So they're two black college kids and a Latino college kid that are roommates, and they're getting ready to go on like there's like
A
it's the night of parties like right
crawl,
before
hey.
spring break, and they're gonna crawl all 7 parties in like
Yeah.
this legendary party tour. And as they're getting ready to come, like they're back in their apartment to pregame and change clothes and shit, and there's an unconscious white girl in their apartment or in their dorm room, and like
Okay.
they can't wake her up. And like one of them is super nerdy and it's just like, yeah, I'll get my phone out. We'll just call 911.
And the other one slaps the fucking phone out
Yeah,
of his hand.
his other friend has a brother that's already like been to jail and is out and is on parole, and so he's like,
Yeah.
"Fuck you, man. We cannot call the cop.
You will not bring cops to where they can watch us lord over a
Won't
white
do
girl.
anything. They don't care about that,
Oh
man."
man, that's cute that you think that matters.
And like, so then proceeds this comedy of errors of them trying to get this girl somewhere where she can get help in a way that does not get them arrested or pulled over
Or shot.
or shot or like and like they're trying to do the right thing, but they're not entirely wrong on like this looks very bad. And of course her friends are looking for her. Yeah, it ends up being hilarious on the strength of the kids. Like they play it just right. But the remarkable thing, they actually deal with that subject.
They do. They don't
Like
shy away from it.
you know, when they get the girl to help, like what
They
they deal with like the difference in the friends of like no man, we can't be near this. Well, we have to be like in a way that both Nick and I teared up a little bit. Like Nick and I were both sitting on the couch of like, are they really gonna fucking pull this off?
yeah,
Oh my
they
god.
they spend the whole night trying to avoid the cops because one of the characters says explains to his friend Kunle, I think it
Mhm.
is, and Alan
Yeah, couldn't.
and he's telling him like, dude, this is how it will go down if these cops catch us with this white girl. And when time comes for the cops to actually get involved, it goes down
That's exactly how
exactly
that goes
like he
down.
says. And it really is like, Jesus, how dark is this movie gonna end?
Yeah. And they man, it's
And they
remarkable.
have a big honest conversation about it after the two of them like, hey, I shouldn't have left you there. And then the other guy's like, no, you were fucking 100% right.
Yeah.
We could have died.
Like they didn't care that I was helping. Like it is a remarkable movie. It is absolutely worth your time. Emergency over on Amazon. Also watched House of the Bayou, which is a Blumhouse movie we'd not heard of for a reason. It's
Fuck that movie.
fucking weak. And it does not want to commit to shit. Are they demons? Who knows? Fuck that movie. Also watched Mayor of Kingstown, which continues to be dark and gritty and great.
Oh, man, I need to catch up on that.
And Mike has no grip on this town at all. Also, I'll say it again. I would watch Bunny come up and take that gang. I want to know how that dude got in charge. I'd watch the whole show. Just show me how Bunny gets in charge. That character gets better and better the longer he's on the show. Like he's my favorite guy now. Watched of course the new Ghosts, which remains really funny. Party Down as well, which we'll discuss. Sherlock Holmes and Sherlock Holmes Game of Shadows, which we watched for the Patreon. We'll discuss there. Lisa's been finishing up Luther in prep for the new movie being released. So rewatched basically the back half of season 5 of Luther, and then watched Luther Fallen Sun over on Netflix, continuing its trend of continuing franchises they don't have the rights to. All the rest of Luther is not on Netflix. All the rest of
Right.
Luther is over on Hulu.
Sure.
And just the Luther Fallen Sun movie, which has Andy Serkis as the villain. It is dark as fuck.
Oh man, dude,
Yeah.
this new Luther
Cynthia
movie is
Erivo.
so good. You gotta watch, man. You gotta watch it. Based off a great TV show, you gotta watch it. Well, where do I watch the TV show? Oh, we don't got that.
Right. It's like Glass Onion and Knives Out. Yeah, it's just weird. But man, it is. Cynthia Erivo's great. Of course, Idris Elba's always great. It's a good continuation of the Luther franchise. I hope they just keep doing these. It's a good way to continue this particular cop show, I think. Nick and I watched a movie I love called Stiff Upper Lips, which is a send up of Merchant Ivory movies. If there was a scary movie for Jane Austen movies, it's this. With is it Sean Pertwee?
Sean Pertwee, my friend.
Yes.
You're paying per the twee.
Yes, each tweet costs more. We also watched Brain Donors, which is John Turturro doing his level best to be Groucho Marx.
Doing a pretty good job
Doing
of
a
it,
pretty
too.
good job of it. I don't know how much cocaine was used in the making of that movie, but enough. We
Just
watched
lion's share of it.
right, we watched a bunch of History of the World Part 2. Also watched Soups and Lois, which came back. They recast Jonathan, the non-powered
Really?
brother.
Did they?
Okay.
Yeah, I can't not. I mean, you never know what the full story will be or whatever, but it doesn't seem to be for anything. The actor stepped away. It sounds like not because they fired him. It sounds like working on a schedule for a CW show did not seem to be agreeing with that kid.
Also, CW doesn't seem like fire fun to work for either, if it's
No,
stories are to be
it-
true.
No.
Kind of like Red Arrow. That kid had to step away to. Like, it doesn't seem like this pace of or making this show is particularly conducive to everybody.
You think making 26 episode seasons isn't really...
Maybe not fun anymore. So anyway, they did a good job recast. Like it is a closer kid than that's helping out. It's a closer kid in look than when they recast on Sense8, but it's still a little weird.
You have to be blind to cast a worse person than on
Right.
set.
No, that was just totally like, well, we like this because he looks nothing like him.
It's the opposite of being racist, of like, because like those two black people don't look anything alike.
At all. Yeah. No, then this is not as like they got a similar-ish vibe kid at least. But it's funny, they have the moment of like, same as Sense8 of like, wow, this summer really aged you. You look totally different. And like they do the same thing of like, hi Jordan and Jonathan. Like, yes, Dad, thank you for saying my name when you put your arm around me for everyone here.
For everyone here, the family that knows who I am.
Yes.
It should have been, Jonathan had that big thing with Jordan because he had the powers. Was the kid? It should be like Jake. Superman should be like,
And
what is your name again? What? It's
right.
like, come on, Dad. I'm your other
Dad.
son. I have 2 kids. I have 2 sons.
Dad, I'm
Just
named
say-
after your adopted father.
I want to say Rusty. No.
Lois is like, do you think Jonathan looks different? He's like, who the fuck is Jonathan?
What's John?
It looks like this season Bruno Mannheim and Inner Gang are going to be the big villain.
Cool.
Is he the one with powers? Ah, fuck that kid.
Yeah, fuck. Hey, he's got his driver's license now. It's not the same, buddy.
Power of a kind.
And then, of course, I watched Night Court, which continues to be cute, and Gotham Knights, which we'll discuss.
Yeah, we will. Nick, anything to add, or did we cover everything?
Oh, you
I
should about Satan's Little Helper.
I showed you Den of Thieves.
Oh,
Let's
that's
talk
right.
about that
That's
first.
right. We watched Den of Thieves. Holy crap. That movie is actually fucking good. And you can tell that the
Because-
movie's too...
Wait. You guys talked about Den of Thieves last week.
No, I
No,
did.
He watched Den of Thieves. Then I watched Den of Thieves and
okay,
dragged
I
him
see.
through it
Okay,
again.
okay, all right.
Which I had never seen it because everything I'd ever heard about it was like, meh. Okay, nobody's going to watch this movie, so you should just go ahead and spoil the thing.
You want to see O'Shea Jackson?
O'Shea Jackson is Kaiser Soze.
Yeah.
No one told me that
Okay.
that's what that movie is. Because it's bloated and overlong and everything. At the end of that, the Den of Thieves is worth watching because throughout the whole thing, like O'Shea Jackson's just a fucking joy on screen anyway. I mean, he looks so much like his dad and he can actually act. I love watching the kid. His character in this is Kaiser Soze. I don't care that I'm spoiling it for you. None of you were gonna watch it anyway.
None of you were gonna want.
But I'm telling you, it is really fun to like clap your hands fun.
Yeah.
To realize at the end of the movie that Ice Cube's kid is Kaiser Soze and has orchestrated and gotten away with this whole fucking movie. It is.
The real problem is that it can't commit to the all cops are bastards.
No, it keeps wanting to like hedge its bet and have Gerard Butler have some kind of redeeming thing, and you're like,
No,
he doesn't. He's
they're
terrible.
clearly the bad guys.
But if they made this movie 5 years later, I think they. Nick and I were like, you know what happened between this movie not quite having the nerve to go all cops are bastards,
Yeah.
and now is a lot of street protests in George Floyd.
Yep.
If they made that movie now,
That
I'd have no hesitation.
Nope. It would
doubling
be.
down, making Butler the villain.
Well, Jesus Christ! At the end of the movie, Gerard Butler and his team start the shootout in a traffic.
Yeah, in traffic. Like this is only going like this is only going to get civilians killed because the cops do it. And the movie constantly, you can tell that the script was set up this way. The theme of this movie is that the cops are the bad guys, and the bad guys have families and loved ones.
Mhm.
And like they go to I mean, they have to do it with a lot of machismo, but they make a point of like showing you 50 Cent has a whole family and like a loving wife and a kid that's about to go to prom, and like Gerard Butler is like getting thrown out of a restaurant where he's drunk trying to give his wife back her fucking divorce papers. Like his shit's bankrupt. But they keep wanting to like redeem him a little bit or soften him, and like no, you can tell this movie wants to be, look, these cops are awful and their home lives are awful because they're upset, like they cheat and they just want to they want to win. They don't care about justice.
They put so many civilians in the third act. They put so many
Oh my
civilians in
God.
danger because Gerard Butler knows that they take a bank hostage, and like he knows like, oh, they went through the system. They're not in the bank anymore, and he runs on the bank.
That's a guess.
That's a guess, you motherfucker.
If you're wrong, they kill every hostage.
They kill everybody in there.
Yeah, it's
Psycho.
it's so reckless. And the movie just can't like that's why this movie's not great. Like that movie can't quite commit to a good premise. But I'm telling you, if you've ever thought, oh, that might be a fun bank heist.
Want to see the better version of Wrath of Man?
Yes, it is the better version of Wrath of Man. It is even armored truck robberies.
The heist is so slick. Right. The heist is so good.
Yeah, it is the better Wrath of Man, straight up. Plus, you get to see Ice Cube's kid just literally, he's Kaiser Soze. It's hilarious.
So great.
It's fucking hilarious.
Anyway, Satan's Little Helper. Yeah. So I made him watch Den of Thieves. He made me watch Satan's Little Helper. I got the raw end of that deal. It's a fun premise of like there's a killer going around a small community in a mask, and because it's Halloween, he can't quite get caught. People are thinking he's setting up decorations that are actually dead bodies. A little kid who's obsessed with a video game called Satan's Little Helper wants to help him out because he thinks he's Satan. And it's like the premise doesn't quite match up because the kid goes back and forth on whether he thinks it's a game or not. And it's like
can't quite figure out if the kid believes it.
Logic, like but the logic only works if he fully believes it.
Yeah,
and then they can't quite commit. But the reason the movie sticks out in my mind is because, I'm sorry, Amanda Plummer was that?
Yes,
Amanda Plummer,
Honey Bunny
herself plays the mom in it, and then there's the little kid that's her son, and then the daughter, the older sister, and
who's in Vikings now, like she's.
Mm-hmm. And she's wearing a weird, like a
Ren Fair
Wench costume that her mom sews her, like has to like fucking stretch her in.
You come to find out it's her mom's Halloween costume from way back. They make a bunch of weird jokes about that.
They talk about incest in the beginning of the movie
for no reason,
for not really any reason.
And then because it's Amanda Plummer and that woman's energy is just weird all the time.
Uh-huh.
Every scene
right now, and it's
every scene
weird.
she has with the daughter is like a half inch
too
close.
Their faces are too close. They're grabbing each other's faces. Amanda Plummer straight up looks at her daughter's lips a couple times.
Oh God, there's some scenes where like, Jesus Christ, woman, stop staring at her lips.
Hey. And it's like, I really, throughout the whole movie, I'm like, Les, are they gonna kiss?
There is a scene after, like, I mean, a bunch of murders have gone down and shit. Like, things are tense. Like, there's a scene where, like, they've been rescued and you would swear they're about to kiss. Like, they've got to kiss.
I hate to disrupt this discussion, but I have a pitch for you. I have a pitch for you. I need your help.
Okay.
Gender flipped Face Off remake. Amanda Plummer and who?
Ooh. Kate McKinnon.
I was gonna say Mary Louise Parker.
Ooh, okay. Also,
I could do that. I could see that too. Yeah.
No, Helen Mirren.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Helen Mirren. That's it. That's the one.
I'm just saying.
Oh man, is this because you watched Game of Shadows this week?
I mean, it didn't hurt, but also just you talk about her like being weirdly close to the face made me think of Travolta's weird face touching thing.
Yes, the weird. I wish the waterfall. Like I was praying for the waterfall weirdness of Face Off because that is definitely weird. This is so incestuous of like, and
that's so weird.
It shows a take where she definitely grabs that actress's ass.
Like she kind of blindly reaches behind her, and it's definitely like, oh, you got some ass.
And I'm like, okay, Amanda Plummer, if you are dating this girl, I mean, kudos to you, like, because that is like,
she's a knockout.
She's a knockout, way out of your age range. Like, you are batting 1,000 on that. Good for you. Also, it is fucking up this movie.
Right. You realize that your role in this, it's like knowing that Dexter and his sister are married, but they managed it pretty well in the show.
Up until they made it a story point where she was in love with him.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Oh,
For those of you who haven't watched
Wonder why I
all
didn't pick
seasons of
Dexter back up
Dexter's,
when he came back. I'm good. Satan's Little Helper. That movie's so fucking weird, man.
is there?
all right.
I didn't think there was any incest in this.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Anyway, I watched Harley Quinn without Les, just to put something on in the background while working and stuff.
Yep.
We watched. I watched The Most Dangerous Game, both seasons on Roku.
The one from Roku, yeah.
Yeah,
Is that still? It's still on Roku. They haven't moved that anywhere.
No, nope.
Isn't that the movie over to Prime or something? I thought like Die Hard had moved. It's like was now as a movie on Prime or something.
Die Hard is moving. I'm not sure if this one is moving. I
The
I
other
don't.
stuff.
I that Quibi, all that Quibi shits. People like that's like trying to figure out which bones belong to which animal in the hyena pit. Like at a certain point, like
Trying to figure out which shows Netflix actually owns, which ones it has half of. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, it all worked out great for Arrested Development, with them suddenly not having any of it, and the two seasons they made being lost to time entirely.
The
Yeah.
the second season has Diego from Umbrella Academy as the runner, as the guy that's being hunted, and it's pretty good.
Ah, okay.
Poker
all right.
Face's own Diego?
Poker Face's
Poker Face.
own, like whatever his
Yeah.
character's name is in that.
Yes.
I mean, I looked up his name too, and I've already forgotten it. God damn it.
All right. Just a reminder, you can support us by going over to patreon.com/tvdudes. Throw us $1 an episode. In exchange, we get to keep up with our streaming services, pay for our hosting costs, and you get bonus content each week. This week, our Guy Ritchie Marathon, Richie's Riches, continues with a double feature of the Sherlock Holmes
How
movies.
rich can you get? Richie Rich.
All right, let's have our main course, and let's start off with History of the World Part 2. I always love when I come to this, and I haven't talked to you guys about this at all, and so I don't know where you land. I posted about where I landed on it.
I think
curious.
we came down at basically the same place. Yeah.
Okay, so this is uneven, but in spots it's really funny.
No, I felt like your post was, and honestly, that's more than I hoped for. Like that was always going to be Mel Brooks. Let's throw 100
Yeah.
jokes at the wall and hope that 50 of them hit
Well,
you.
for me, it's basically the History of the World Part 1, which is a movie I like to go back and watch segments of, but not all
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I honestly
This is-
don't remember all of it. I remember like 2 parts of History of the World forever that I'll always
Yeah.
remember.
this was even more segmented than the movie. I think there were bits where they're like just like somebody in the writers' room threw a joke they really like, the Amelia Earhart bit, which I was funny. Amelia Earhart in a lesbian bar in Paris. She basically
we
made
got to
herself
that one.
Paradise Island. Oh, really? There's
Yeah.
it's just that Amelia Earhart faked her death, that she's living in a lesbian bar with other aviators. Like that's the joke. It's a like
It's great.
2-minute sketch, and I'm like, there's a bunch of them like that where it's basically like, oh, you guys had a writer's room, people threw this stuff up, there was a note card that just said Amelia Earhart lesbian bar, and they're like,
Harriet
got
Tubman's
5
Underground Railroad was a real subway. Let's just do it.
yeah,
Let's do it.
yeah, we got
Okay.
that, yeah. So, and there are bits of those that are funny. The opening, it opened rough like that. I don't remember what they started with, but it was rough and it was not funny. And I'm like, oh no. And
I forget what they
then
started with.
I don't remember. It was very forgettable and
Oh,
not
was it
very
the
funny.
Gettysburg? Like it was
It was the Gettysburg thing, and it was too like fart humor. It was just like
Yeah.
not very funny. And that
No.
that segment goes on and gets funnier. Like it's not like the people in it are bad.
No,
Yeah.
because it keeps going from there, like the Grant drunk and everything, like that just
Mhm.
keeps,
Yeah.
and his
Well,
yeah,
Ike Barinholtz is fantastic in this playing General Grant. Like he's super fun.
well, it really is a sketch comedy because in this one it's like they have guest people, but really it's Nick Kroll, Ike Barinholtz, and a
Wanda
couple other
Sykes.
yeah.
Wanda Sykes, and a couple other regulars that they keep
Yeah.
rotating around different parts.
And I don't know the actor's name, but the guy who was Jimmy in the Mick
Yes,
is in this and has
Holt,
several
I think is his.
he has several
He's
really
hilarious.
fun.
He's great. Yeah.
Yeah, he has several really fun bits.
When I saw that
the
dude turn
thing-
up, I was thrilled.
The thing that really got me, the bit that won me over the most was Curb Your Judaism.
Awesome.
The
I haven't
Curb
seen
Your
that.
Judaism riff. man.
The constant like the Shlomo thing just gets better and better, and then like the slow reveal
Yes.
that like he's clearly not your son.
He's-
Yes.
Like Josh, you were like
That-
twins. You could kiss these washboard abs.
when they do when they had actual JB Smoove from Curb Your
Yes.
Enthusiasm in the
Yes.
parody, and
Well,
Nick Kroll is playing
Judas.
Judas.
So that's the slight genius there of what I'm looking for a Mel Brooks production of like, okay,
Yeah.
well, we're doing a sketch of Judas. What should we do with Judas? How about we just cast Nick Kroll and change nothing about him?
Yeah, just let Nick
He's-
Kroll be
he's
Nick
just-
Kroll.
He's just
I feel like
basically
Nick Kroll would play a pretty good Judas.
Yeah, and it was a dead on riff on Curb Your Enthusiasm. The whole like
Yes.
Judas accidentally kisses Jesus. He's like, no,
Yeah.
that
No,
wasn't
no,
a
that
betrayal
was not
kiss.
a-
That was a real
Oh.
kiss.
Yeah, that was not a betrayal kiss. That was just a regular kiss.
My, she thinks her son is God. Well, the mom's Jewish.
Yeah. Oh man, he nails that line.
Yeah, that one's
Nick
one's
Kroll is
great.
pretty. Nick Kroll is great as just himself and the stereotype of Judaism he
Okay,
plays in
good.
the Russian thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Shlomo and their mud pies, and who is it? Adlin.
It's
Pamela
Pamela
Adlin.
Adlin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from Better. That's like going to do the revolution. Yeah.
And then fucking Jack Black as
Of all the Jack Black as Stalin was great.
Just
But
beautiful.
of all the things that I thought I'd heard about this joke and thought it was stupid and it wouldn't work, but Johnny Knoxville doing Rasputin jackass.
Yeah. Yes.
Like I don't know why
my
the idea
God.
Rasputin.
this is getting stabbed 32 times in the back by your friends. This is getting him a dick cut off. And it's just all the historical bullshit that happened to Rasputin just as jackass videos.
Getting shot 3 times.
Yeah.
God, it works
Yeah.
so well.
It does. It shouldn't work, but it does. It's super funny. There's also Ronnie Chang as Kubla Khan. Is really
Yeah.
the hit, and Jake Johnson. That little bit is funny.
You've been
But that comes-
conned.
You know it's more
That
fun
comes
in a
back-
pool.
That comes back later, and I don't know if you guys got this far, but they do a Kubla Khan. Basically, it's Concestry.com where everyone finds out they're all related to Kubla Khan because he fucked so many
Yep.
women.
That's hilarious.
That was amazing. And it reminded me of the Key and Peele Thomas motherfucking Jefferson bit, which just beautiful. Yeah, the stuff that works in here really, really works. Actually, all the stuff with Wanda Sykes as Shirley Chisholm in like a Good Times style sitcom.
Oh, that was
God, that's great.
It's
That's super fun.
And getting Colton Dunn twisted up in the phone cord and shit, like it's just so
Yeah.
dead on.
Mr. Nixon, you answer your own phone?
How
How
not
unparanoid of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of that works. Shirley.
Yeah. It's fun. I don't know that like oh, this is the one shot from the first one, but the Kama Supra that's about soup and sex.
Soup to nuts.
So dumb,
Again,
but it worked.
What a weird that was definitely someone in the writers' room pitched that and they're like, fuck it, let's do it. Can we get Kumail Nanjiani?
It's an example of like writing a joke so long that it comes back around to working.
Yeah.
It gets
Yeah,
dumb and
yeah.
it's not fun. By the time
Yep.
they get to the end of like, so we just want the sex book, but that's just insane.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And then like
That's
as soon as he leaves,
insane.
the soup is
You
what
know that's
sells this.
insane.
so we're just gonna steal that idea.
So we're gonna steal all that, right?
The thing that won me over, and it's in the end of the first episode, was they did Hitler on Ice, and they had Mel Brooks be like, "Hey, I said no reruns," and they did the best version of that, which is basically just them taking a shit on Hitler, just like
Dude,
talking
it's-
about
I love that they rewrite history in the fact that he does such a bad performance. He's going to go off to the bunker and shoot him.
Oh, he's got a gun. They're heading to the
Yeah.
bunker.
Yeah,
This
bunker.
new
Yeah,
bride.
good, I
She
hope-
looks concerned.
Yeah.
She looks concerned.
Yep.
Yeah, the commentary is so like, yeah.
then
Now, I've always said if you're going to put concentration camps in people's countries, you got to be flawless on the ice. That's zero.
Just the bit
Oh,
they're all
that's a
there's-
Poland. That's
they-
a fuck you.
Oh,
there's
it's
like,
like,
well,
fuck you
yeah.
for Poland.
I hope.
and then
yeah, there's
Mussolini
like,
coming
well,
up.
I
I hope he
he-
breaks both.
Yeah, broke his
Break both-
fucking legs.
Well,
Yes.
he broke his fucking legs.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's what I wanted.
Just abandoning the
Unleash-
joke and going straight at it.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, this was super fun. I like I say, it's one of those things where it was uneven, and some of it is cringy, not funny. Like,
Well,
there's
the
stuff that-
parts that are funny there's enough in between that carry you through to the next funny part.
Yeah, like there's
Yeah.
I roll a couple of times and like, okay, wait, that was good.
Right,
That was
yeah.
And it's
That was-
hard.
yeah,
and
that
it's
was a
hard
good
to
bit,
like. And I see it in the writing process for Mel Brooks. It's hard to know which one of those hits and which don't. Because Kama Supra,
sure.
Supra is so
Could have
fucking
been
dumb.
It could have been stupid. Yeah,
It
you're
could have
right.
been, yeah.
But like one that didn't work for me was the puking on the boat. Like they're all giving different reasons for puking on the boat to Normandy Beach, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is dumb. Get off this. I'm done. I'm done with
Well,
this.
that one's so because it reminded me of like that's historically accurate of
It's
the
weirdly
Yeah,
historically
sure.
accurate.
because they fed those guys their last meal beforehand, thinking of like
Right.
hiring morale. But most of them
Yeah.
had not been on boats before, so they went.
Right.
So most of Normandy, most of the people that landed on Normandy landed with vomit on them. Just remember
Yeah.
that.
No. Yeah.
Remember that
yeah.
that they
Sure.
stormed the beaches covered in vomit.
Sure. It's just not funny.
No, it's more of a harrowing story of the human condition.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this
Which-
joke bit ends at the start of Saving Private Ryan, which is always funny.
Now, if they had Vin Diesel had come up end of that sketch, I'm in.
Oh,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. If it just in the middle of all the boats, there was one.
Tom
car.
Hanks, just
But drive it fast
Oh,
enough,
man.
I can go water a quarter mile at a time. I live life a quarter knot at a time.
Let's jump over and have our side dish, which
Fathom.
is a notable
no.
side
Let's
dish.
let Les figure out.
I'm gonna solve this joke. Goddamn.
Let's figure out nautical distances and measurements.
You guys watch Star Wars. Don't talk to me about
25
versus
minutes
speed.
later.
What you see when a knot is.
I live life 1 parsec at a time.
The Inquisition, let's begin. The Inquisition, look out, Sam. We have a mission to convert the Jews. We're gonna teach them wrong from right. We're gonna help them see the light and make an offer that they can't refuse. That the Jews just can't refuse. Confess, don't be boring. Say yes, say yes. Don't be dull. A fact you're ignoring. It's better to lose your skull cap than your skull.
Let's talk about Ted Lasso, y'all. Ted Lasso's back.
Oh, now we're talking about different measurements. Now we got to figure out if it was a kilometer or not.
So
How many corgis
I
is that?
thought I was a little worried because I was starting to see the reviews, and all the reviews were like, it's not quite, it's either not quite as funny or it's not
We've
quite
been only
working or
praising
something.
this for a couple of years, and as reviewers, feel obligated
Well,
to not like this season.
I do feel
That's what it was. Yes, it's fucking annoying.
like this season doesn't open on. Okay, we can only get away with killing a dog in the opening one time, right?
Right.
Probably,
They didn't do anything
probably.
crazy. Yes, yeah.
Because that first season opener is nuts. Like that second
yeah.
season, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That
came
felt like
back
such
and
a
they're like,
flex
yeah.
of like, I can kill a dog in the start of this show and you're still here. No, this kind of
is
felt, I was worried that we were at that point of like, but show you loved last year. What if it's terrible?
Yeah, I'm definitely worried about it. But I thought this is a great episode.
I did
back.
too. This is like a great return.
with what I thought was him like a flashback to him coming over in the airport, but it's actually
That was definitely on purpose.
it's
They did that really
intentional.
well.
Yeah, and it's him and his son leaving, and the episode ending on him like finally getting home and like getting through that, and then the end credit stinger of the conversation after is like,
Oh man, that was like a knife in my heart. That was
That
so
hurt-
hard to hear.
hurt so
yeah.
bad.
I mean, honestly, I spent a lot of summers and spring breaks getting basically mailed back and forth between my parents on airplanes, and and so I mean, thankfully it was all pre 9/11, so my dad could drop me at the fucking door of the plane, basically.
mhm.
Yeah.
But still, like this episode opened and I teared up, like my eyes pricked up with
Man.
tears immediately of like, sons of bitches,
Yeah.
fucking show.
Yeah. And Ted's off the whole show, the whole episode
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of that. He is watching. All he cares about is making sure his kid gets home, and he knows his kid is going farther and farther away from him. Like, but that last bit of like, well, who's Jake? Oh, that's mom's friend. Oh, fuck!
Oh,
like, of
God,
Yeah.
course.
And
Like,
then he's got
like Ted,
to still sit there and be happy about like, look,
That's
Dad,
great.
lights up. That's great.
His delivery on that great. Sudeikis is so. I did not know
Yeah.
he had this.
And
Yeah.
considering that dude just went through his heart
Right. Yeah.
very publicly.
Oh, and talking with a therapist about it. Like,
oh god, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, though I love that look the therapist gives back towards the camera when like, go Sharon. Damn.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get off?
Not yet. Chingy. Damn. I love Keely and her PR firm and her CFO, like the problems that she's gonna have.
and her leaving ink marks on both.
Oh god, both of them. I've dry cleaned this 8
I
times.
don't know. She should not keep
Put
these
this under their
chemicals
eyes.
next to her eyes. They shouldn't do it. Dude, the fucking the privacy window.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool and very concerning.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of offices, Rupert's Death Star office
Oh,
is
man.
so great. It's so perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot this week with windows that looked like you could throw Eric Draven out of them.
Yeah,
they're like,
but
you know West Ham is the evil football club because
Right,
they are
my
designed
God.
like the evil foot club.
I really feel like the Crow is going to come after him at some point.
If their uniform was like if it was the Imperial uniform, it would fit. Like,
Yeah, the Imperial March theme should like fucking play when he opens that door.
when they first sit Nate, like when Nate sits down for the press conference and they've got him, like as soon as they said, Wonder Kid at West Ham or whatever, I looked at Nick and was like,
Yep.
we haven't seen Nate speak yet, but I guarantee the first thing out of his mouth is going to be correct.
Les called it.
Still,
Yep.
still with the job,
Yep.
and a year later, and you're still you thin-skinned fuck.
What a
The
thin-skinned loser.
The first thing we see of him driving his shitty little car up, he takes the escalator up, and this nice woman says, "Hey there, coach." He doesn't say shit back to her.
No.
And the first thing he does when he gets in, this is what he does every day, is open up Twitter and make sure that people are saying nice things about him. The dude is so insecure, despite the fact that he has, as someone points out, he's gone from kit man to head coach of a major franchise in 2 years.
I feel like if we watched Trump's day-to-day, this would be what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
But the look the look on that actor's face when he looks at Rupert is so desperate and sad.
Dad, love me? Do you love me yet, Dad?
God, when he
finally
checks,
found his dad,
when he checks with Rupert before he
Says
can I say the line you thought was funny earlier?
You thought was
Can I
funny?
say the joke?
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Before they turn him around on me, I'm going to enjoy hating Nate. I'm getting
that was
all
the
the...
We realized that what Nate's skill has been since fairly early on is being mean. He's good at being mean. And Ted calls it out in a way where he makes it a compliment. He's like, yeah, he'll find that weakness and he'll go after
He'll
it.
just
Like,
go after it. He makes him a great...
to Ted, anything anyone does well, even if it's a shitty thing like that, is a good thing. Like he legitimately means like, oh yeah, no, he'll spot the weaknesses and he'll go after it, and that's impressive. I'm like, Jesus, man, that includes you.
The mix up with where they kept having the boss they are doing it. Yeah, Rupert is hating me. Like she keeps saying he and Rupert, and like Ted has to keep correcting her back. But
whatever.
But they fully bring they don't just go with that as like a running gag. They fully bring it home when she shows him the picture of the sewer and is like, look, Rupert is laughing at me. And I looked over at Nick and went,
that'll do it.
This isn't Ted's doing the right thing for the club. This isn't and what you're asking him to do of going and being mean or whatever is really actually not the best thing for the club, but that's not what this is about. This is the dart game.
Yeah.
You just looked over at Ted and like, hey, I know as a coach you're gonna stay classy. As my friend, I need you to fucking fight for me.
And so Ted does, but in his own
Ted the way he can. Yeah,
he kills him with kindness.
Ned Flanders on the way to a Ned Flanders cosplay.
Dude, I love this. What's it? Cyrano Diversion, like the fucking
Roxanne. It's like Roxanne.
It's the whole Roxanne bit. We're like, oh, you think you can make fun of me? No one is better at making fun of me than me.
I have plenty of self-doubt and I'm funnier than you are. Yep, absolutely.
I look like Ned Flanders cosplaying as Ned Flanders. Like
ate Nate alive.
Yes. And seeing Nate slam the laptop shut because he's so frustrated that he didn't get to him.
Because no one will ever like him a fraction as much as
they like
the
Ted.
people like because in the rooms are even different. Like the people asking Ted stuff, they're delighted to be there.
Yes.
They love it.
By the end of it, when they like, how crazy are you? There we go.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh man, Marcus got promoted to the Independent, and that they all get like that. Like it's a camaraderie thing.
Hey, that's great on your new haircut.
Room.
Like, Ted's like, oh yeah, your new hair color, is that a breakup? You're just trying something new? Yeah, no, I understand. That's like, Ted knows these people, and I guarantee Nate doesn't even know the woman that handed him the gift of the keys.
Nope.
Doesn't know her name. I guarantee it.
Here's the thing: the way when we first met Nate, he was his own genuine self.
Yes.
And as he gets more successful, he's more and more insecure about it, and he's less and less himself. And I think that's the redemption arc they're going to find, is for him to realize that the reason that Ted is so much better at this than him is that Ted is always Ted. And Nate is never comfortable being Nate. And if he can get to a place where he's comfortable being Nate, he's going to be a good person again.
Like, the joke is that everybody everybody would like Nate. There's like, nobody's mad at it. Like, if Nate would let this drop. But like the woman
Yeah.
that says hi to him walking into the office, like all these people,
Yeah.
he could have. It's right there. It is right there for
Yeah.
the taking. He could have the same workplace as
Right.
Ted. He
Right.
he cannot ever believe that it is happening. He can't believe you
Yeah.
like him, so he won't
Right.
fucking let it happen.
Yeah. But what he wants is to be. He wants to be more than he is too. Like
Mhm.
Nate's never going to be Roy Kent, and he's never going to be Jamie, and part of
He's
him wants
never
to be
going to be
that.
happy with.
And I get that. Like I understand that. Yeah, it's I can relate to Nate on a certain level of like, man, I get that. I get the like it's nice to be liked, but you want to be loved or you want to be feared or you want all this stuff
Yeah.
and you can't have everything.
You want to be
And
noticed. Like
I understand the frustration of it for Nate, but I'm like, man, all you're doing is pushing people further away, and all you're gonna have
He
around
is.
you is fake friends, and he's gonna find that out with
he's
yeah.
let it eat him alive. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing of it is like just even having a slight. We're all insecure about some stuff. He's let it fucking run his entire
Neil
life.
has a panic attack and then has to spit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
And like,
yeah.
dude, that's not healthy.
And I tell you what,
really have
yeah.
to go fucking talk to someone, man.
Nate's pretty good in the room himself. He's pretty good.
Mhm.
He'll be good for a
Yep.
couple games even too, because he's
Yeah.
got the
Yeah.
strategic mind for it.
Man, as soon as something goes wrong,
As soon as he loses and Rupert gets mad at him, the whole
He'll
thing's gonna go
crumble.
bad.
He'll
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
fold.
because you can see him react. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
do the right thing. He does the reactive thing, and which at some
Yeah.
point is going to make it really easy to lead him around by the nose.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're all expecting him to like fucking bring it home.
Yeah.
Like,
He's gonna do something terrible on Rupert's behalf, trying to gain Rupert's approval. And I don't know
Something
what it's
really,
gonna be.
Like, yeah,
but-
injure somebody, something illegal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Rupert's just going to throw him under the bus.
Yeah, for sure. I love Jamie slowly becoming Ted.
Oh my
I
god.
love
He rhymed. He rhymed.
he rhymed. He fucking rhymed.
I legit like had
It's poopy.
I had like in my heart like it was such an adorable moment of like
Yeah.
because Jamie is the same almost as Nate because he
Yeah.
wants dad's love, but he found a dad
But the
figure.
dad he picked was Ted.
Yeah.
But the dad
Yeah.
and he's getting affirmation and learning to be. He's emulating Ted because he thinks Ted is a good person.
Yeah. So Jamie's becoming a better person. He's still a dipshit.
He's
But
but
he's
he
a
is
better-
growing. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
he's a
he's
nicer
growing,
dipshit.
yeah.
Jamie's still gonna
Yeah.
Jamie, man. Like we're not gonna.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Talking about the drowning bunny story from Quantum Leap and like the remarkably apt, even better than that one, the sewer
the
poop
sewer system.
metaphor.
story.
I looked over it and it
Yes.
was like, is this metaphor actually fucking working?
It took so
Oh
long.
my
works.
god!
It does.
took
Yeah.
so long, and then
Yeah.
it gets around. And I'm like, God damn it!
Like usually tortured
Yep.
metaphors like this don't work for me, and my god,
Yeah.
like to the point where they're later like, it's just poop.
she's
Shit.
poop. Let it flow, Joe.
It's funny because one of the things this show does well is convincing us that Ted is this smart and this quick and this funny, but it's such a writerly show. Like all of this stuff is so written. Like all of his wit, the
Oh,
ability
yeah.
to come up with all these
Yes.
things, the pop culture references, all that. No one in real life is this quick all the time.
Right.
No,
But
and
it's what I
and yet
watch shows
it all
for.
feels right.
no,
yeah,
but
it all feels right.
well, no one in life is this nice. It's like the Superman thing of like,
Right.
but that's what you want to aspire to. If you could be
Yeah.
half of a Ted, you're
Yeah.
Yeah.
ahead of the
Yeah,
rest of
for sure.
humanity.
We haven't talked about the other elephant in the room, which is Roy and Keeley.
Well, that made sense to me because
I
it
knew it
showed
was
out in the
coming.
last season. Like
Yeah.
the space was not the and then even the little girl says like most relationships can't survive a career shift
I love
rather than two.
I love how
I feel like
I
that
love
little
how
girl is
precocious
like,
she
playing
is.
them.
that little girl is manipulative.
Oh,
Brilliant.
100%. Yeah.
Just-
And then
But
just
she's like
the
she's
quiet like,
the-
do you think you're
like,
doing
well,
the right thing?
You think you're
she's
doing the
like,
right
my
thing?
parents. It's like
Oh,
my
yeah.
parents
Yeah,
broke up when I was 4, so
I
part
get
of my
it.
life philosophy is that nothing's
lasts.
forever.
Like, oh
Nothing
my
lasts.
god.
I'm
Like,
surprised
oh
they
God.
didn't get back together right then. I'm
Right.
like, okay,
Oh,
I
right.
guess we're just together forever now because we can't like.
But
Also,
but they even have
remember that-
daylight between them. Like when they say the news to her, Roy says we
Yeah.
broke up, and Keeley says we're taking
She
a
says
break.
we're on a break.
I'm
Yeah.
like, so they're not on the same page anyway.
Roy, come on,
Yeah.
Roy's right.
Oh yeah, no.
Like,
well,
also-
and Roy never shines anything up.
Yeah, and he doesn't
Right,
want to
yeah.
lead. He doesn't want to lead his
No.
niece on. Like,
Another thing, by the way, if you go back to Phoebe and you look at like she's always, they had the problem with her cursing and that kind of thing. So I love that when she asks, "Can I say a bad
Say a
word?"
bad word?
The bad
And
word
it's
is you're stupid.
stupid.
Yeah,
To
That's
her,
the bad
it's the
word.
same.
I was like, that's
To her,
great.
Yeah.
the same level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Breath is right.
But yeah, fuck
And-
isn't a bad word. Uncle Roy says that all the time.
Yeah.
Stupid is a bad word because it's insulting. Yeah.
And then and Roy really like he's like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
the thing I'm doing now, I guess. Like
That's so much
Yeah.
better than no. You have to stay together for me. Like no.
Yeah.
She's better than
Yeah.
that.
no,
Are you? I'm just asking the question, Uncle Roy. Are you?
no,
doing
you
the
can
right thing?
Yeah.
no, you can watch that
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
You gotta watch. She
She's
is
fucking good, man.
You can-
Yep. Yeah.
it's not a lot of Sam or the rest of the team.
No, we didn't see a lot of the other guys.
But
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of characters at this point.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
What weird lore drops of the driver?
Oh
Oh man, the driver's been. Oh yeah, he'll be forever changed, but he'll be able to drive us
He'll be
home.
able to drive. No sudden movements near the driver. Okay.
What after the toad venom?
You don't want to call a hippie on his day off, Ted. Just a heads up.
Noted. All right.
Man.
I'm gonna go over there and smoke some toad venom, so this day's not a total waste.
By the way, even knowing that the Roy Keeley thing was likely to go that way, when it came up, I gasped out loud. And when I watched it with the crowd, everybody in the room was like, "Oh!" Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
We
we're
all
all
want them to-
crazy too emotionally invested in it, and if you
Yes.
tell me I'm too emotionally invested in it, I will kill you.
Fight you.
I could recognize it's a problem and still be okay with it.
So yeah, Ted Lasso's probably going on the desserts from now until the end of it.
Well, we just lost a dessert for Last of Us, so
It's true,
well,
we did. It's true, we
dude,
did.
having Last of Us end and Ted Lasso begin is such a like, oh wow, so the most depressing thing I've ever
Let's
seen.
just whiplash that around.
And the most, yeah, that's true. Something that I think will probably not make it to the dessert is Gotham Knights, and let's talk about Gotham Knights.
Never, you will never make me.
No. So
This-
I thought that this would be Naomi bad. The premise is stupid.
I did too. I thought it was gonna be worse than it was. I will say that for it. I thought it was gonna be worse.
And
Dude,
it is middle of the pack CW.
Don't you let Naomi color your eyes on this. No, nothing can be Naomi bad because at least Gotham Knights has a lore to fall back
Right.
on that they choose not
Yeah.
to use most of.
No.
but
They,
some of
yeah,
it
they're
is
just
at
making
least-
shit up.
But
But
it's Gotham. It's like an Elseworlds. It's that Gotham thing going.
yeah,
But at
yeah.
least we've got casting. There's a CW floor on it. You've got Misha Collins in there at least.
Right.
They're doing Duella as the Joker's daughter. She is the highlight of the
she's
show.
She's my favorite character. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's the one they're doing just right. I
Mhm.
really like that they've got a trans kid who is not trans female. That's a little, it's at
Mhm.
least different on the show.
I got a dead
like
name for you.
Oh,
I
and
like-
also
I
I
like
really
that
liked
Harvey
Misha
Dent does- yeah.
Collin.
Hey,
Yeah.
whoa,
Dent-
take a fucking
And,
lap, man.
and then he's like, like throws him out of the room. And then I like the kid calls it out of like, hey, man, I mean, I appreciate it, but sucking up to me with
I
good
know what
cop.
you're
just-
doing. Yeah.
maybe I'm just not a dick. Like,
Yeah. I
Okay,
like
fair.
that. I like that bit. Yeah, that was some of the best stuff
Fair.
in the show.
I also like if you're gonna. So we'll get to why this premise is just fucking stupid in a minute. But if you're gonna do a Batman adopted son who's not a Robin somehow, which
yeah,
is the
yeah.
basic flaw in this show,
Motherfucker,
Yeah.
all that guy does is fight crime and adopt kids.
right?
But he indoctrinates them into his
But
war.
I kind
too.
of like
No
the
kid has ever
idea
been not a
that
Robin.
Batman is basically studying this, like has adopted a kid who actually is processing his parents' death
Sure.
and is just fascinated by it. And like I like the idea that like Bruce adopted one kid who doesn't go vigilante and is like, no, he's the
Mhm.
best of all of us. I just got to watch. How does he do it? It's magic.
It's-
Um, and that, but
he
then
goes to
consequently,
therapy, Bruce.
That kid has no fighting. Like when the other kids keep having to explain that, like, hey man, we're patsies. The only way cover-ups work is if you kill the patsies.
Yeah.
We're all gonna get killed.
Not only
No,
does he
I don't
not
know.
have
I think we should
skills,
just go to the
He's
cops.
fucking stupid.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
he is.
the,
He
it's
is
the
dumb
emergency
as
kids
shit.
of like, we should just call 911. Are you fucking stupid?
When the cops show up at Wayne Manor and they're in the Batcave, the most secretive and well-fortified location,
They clearly go upstairs and
just
just
go upstairs to get arrested. What are you doing?
You know, here's this. This actually makes perfect sense though, because Duella Dent and Harper and her brother, like, they are hard knock kids who've lived on the streets and they know how Gotham works. This
Yeah.
is the richest. This kid has been a rich kid under Bruce Wayne who did not become a vigilante. He lives the most charmed life.
It's still
He has
Gotham, and I feel like Bruce, even if he didn't reveal to you Batman, he'd still say, "Hey, don't trust the cops, man."
right.
No, I think Bruce kept him isolated from all of this, and so he's like, to him, this is a kid who's been living like veal in a cage his entire life, and then he just got
Basically.
thrown into the
Okay.
streets.
And
Yeah.
that made for an entertaining pilot. I don't know where they're gonna go with it. Like, what does he offer?
Oh,
He
he's a
should have died. He should have died in the truck flip. You
Obviously,
can't hang yourself through a window like that and flip the vehicle and not cut yourself in half.
He's a terrible lead. He's a terrible lead.
obviously they want to do he didn't know his dad was Batman,
He was Batman.
Yeah.
and they want the
Yeah.
reveal for that. I'm saying,
But now you're stuck with
but now you're stuck with a really terrible main character. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
sure, you don't have the reveal if it's a Robin, but you have a
Yeah.
way more interesting character and shit to fall back on.
But then we got to have our
Yeah.
cake and eat it because they do reveal
Yeah.
a Robin. It's
And
the
the Robin's
weirdest
great.
Robin they could pick. But
Oh, what would it do? Yes.
I do wish they'd had her be in the square glasses and the Robin costume. I really hate the tactical green glasses.
So
It looks so
this
cheap.
feels like early. This is early 2000 CW. This is like early Arrow, where they were still embarrassed to call him Green Arrow. Like
Right.
they're so embarrassed to call people by their names
It's
and to have
so-
costumes. And I'm
He
like,
called me
guys,
his little Robin. Like,
This
really?
and I
this
think
truly
that's-
feels like Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
well, yeah, well, I
Especially
think
when the
that's-
blonde is when the friend's in the Batcave for him.
that's the problem with this. This is the thing, and I always say this about Legends of Tomorrow. Legends of Tomorrow was the best TV show of 1995, but it was on 10 years too late.
15
that's
years too
Gotham-
late.
Gotham Knights. If this had come on in like 1992 or 93, I'd been like, oh fuck yeah, look at those deep cut characters. They're doing a Court of Owls. Holy shit, that's cool. Like,
Sure.
but at this point, we've had She-Hulk. Like,
Yeah.
you can't. I
Dude,
can't
Harley
watch
Quinn
this.
just did a whole joke its last season of the night of the Court of Owls being a sex cult.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
takes a little bit away from like
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
If
This
the
is-
Court of Owls is so synonymous that we can parody it now, like who gives a fuck?
Yeah. And this is all Batwoman, Supergirl writers is who
Yeah.
are doing this. And it feels like their best work, but it's still CW.
If this was, I mean, I'm not even watching Superman and Lois, which is obviously better than this. If
It
TV
is.
was lighter in some way, I might watch more of this. I didn't hate it. I was shocked I didn't hate it.
Same.
But
Same. I really thought it would just be flat stank.
I'll
and I don't
hate it for the both of
hate
you.
it,
This
yeah.
show can suck a dick.
I would rather watch a Duella show.
Hey, I'm Harvey Dent, not Two-Face. My face never got explored. But what am I supposed to do? There's no other obviously long-standing, older character that knew that had a relationship with both Bruce Wayne and Batman that was on the police force that was commissioner.
Yeah.
Like seriously, having be Harvey Dent and not fucking
Not be
Gordon,
Gordon.
like is
Yeah.
like,
here's the
but
thing.
why?
I bet Gordon's dead. And I bet this was I mean, given that they're using almost all characters we have not seen a lot of,
Then have it be an older Barbara Gordon.
but that's the thing. I think they're
Fuck.
deliberately, I think somewhere in the writers' room, the development process, it was decided we're not doing anybody who's been done before. And that's why we're getting all these people.
Every decision they make that's like that is so fucking
Yeah.
stupid.
It is, yeah.
Duella is the best thing they've done, and that's because like, hey, Joker did have a kid. Should we use her?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to? Yeah.
And then like even it's
And she's the right level of nuts.
not Alfred.
Yeah.
How about he has his own fucking servant?
But she's in the Court of the Owls. Cressida is a
Yeah.
Court of the Owls person from the comics.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense to me. That was one of the few things changed. I was like, oh, that's pretty good because we're led to believe this is going to be his Alfred, but in fact, she is the snake in the garden. That I
Yeah.
thought was a good decision.
Bruce Wayne actually got killed by Joe Chill's gun. Fuck you.
So that is my biggest gripe with this, and it's the hole in the heart of the premise. You're telling me Bruce Wayne got shot and fell out a fucking window? Unless it was fucking Superman that did it, I'm not going to buy this.
I feel like this is staged
I'm
to
sorry.
bring
The
out
corner
Batman's
of
enemies.
Owls is not that sinister.
They're gonna
Yeah.
find out that Batman staged this to do.
I
Like,
feel
he's
like-
not dead. There's
Court
no fucking
of
way.
Owls is a bunch of rich people that think they have a secret society that haven't run into Ra's al Ghul yet.
Right. I would honestly love. Nick and I were talking about this earlier.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
love to see the League of Shadows show up and just shut the Court of Owls down.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's
Yeah.
cute.
Like, I've been alive. Me personally, I've been
oh,
alive longer than
you've run Gotham for 200 years. That's adorable.
But here's the thing. If they revealed that Ra's al Ghul was using the Court of Owls as a stalking horse and that he's the one who killed Batman, that I would buy.
Cool. That still makes this episode stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Like
it's kind of a
a
problem.
A later reveal does not fix how much fun
No.
I'm not having now.
And it's
Yeah.
it's got to suck to be a CW Cape show when you know they're phasing it out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is not getting a second season. This is the end. This is the last gasp
Dude,
of gas in the tank.
I would have known if like I'm playing Batman's kid and my name is Turner. I would have known like, oh well, I might better keep that resume handy.
Right.
Look, Titan's got 3 seasons, man. You never know what's going to happen.
Well, Titans
But
has
in this case, we do.
actual superhero, like
it's
has actual
so-
fucking characters.
It's
and
impossible not to look at this as like okay, Disney Channel's still going, but so is Disney Plus, right?
Yeah.
But you
yeah.
can see the budget difference into the shows they're getting. Of like, well, here's a superhero show on Disney Channel, and here's a superhero show on Disney Plus.
Yes.
And this feels
sure.
like Titans on network.
Yeah, which is like, what's the point?
Versus Titans on premium.
I mean, I don't like Titans.
I don't want Titans on premium. I sure don't want.
Oh, I don't want
Titans
either. Yeah, I definitely.
I don't like Titans being an aggro, douchey, like dark, like and super violent. But also, if you take that away, then it's a pretty just poorly written show.
So wait,
yeah,
I know how we'll fix Titans for you. What if we make it for cheaper?
What if we make it cheaper? Oh, that was not. I don't think that was the main concern I
I haven't
had.
been listening to my concerns at all.
Yo, Ed,
What's up?
tell them where you're from.
Straight out of Gotham. Just a crazy ass Riddler. More banks I rob, yo. My posse gets bigger. I'm a bad super villain, and you know this. But still, you think my methods are bogus? Well, riddle me this. What has 4 legs and flies? Batman and Robin when they meet their demise. Just like shots, the definition is riddling. And when you strum a violin, it's called fiddling. Try to solve my puzzles in a minute. I play every game to win. And so I win it. I know you all see this, and I mean this. Eddie Enigma is a criminal genius. You might wonder why I leave clues behind. Fuck you, that's the way my shit's designed. I'm a crazy supervillain from the street. Gotham City's scared, cause they're unprepared for the rhymes that are serious like cancer. So tell me if you think you got the answer. I'm the start of the end and the end of time. I'm essential to beats and I surround every rhyme. If you guess the letter E, you'd be right. D-E-F spells step, but I'm hype. Cause I'm only built for Cuban links. I've got more riddles than the motherfucking Sphinx. Batman don't even got a clue. And if he tried to front yo, his ass be through. Look, you might think I'm starting to slip, but a riddle like me is on a gangster tip. Straight out of Gotham.
All right, that's enough of that medicine. Let's have some dessert. Let's talk about Party Down and Nazis.
Nick Offerman.
I just
and
watched
the fucking kid from Reboot.
I just watched the
Oh,
first
man.
season's Republican convention, and I was like, oh my god, they just redid that episode. It's pretty fun. Like,
Yeah,
I like the change of Saxon to just kind of this dipshit influence. Like in the first episode, I'd said this before, like he was basically the same character from Brockmire, and where they've landed him in his kind of dipshittiness is really perfect.
Sorry, grumpy Luke Skywalker is better than normal Luke Skywalker. Dumb Thor is better than normal Thor, and dumb Saxon is better than normal Saxon.
When he's eating
agreed.
that fucking wombat chew or whatever, wabba chew.
Yep.
It's like, oh yeah, no, I'm supposed to
it's really
more of this, but it's blowing me out of both ends.
You're fucking like, you ate more? I really want that.
I really want this car.
Man, Zoe Chow. Is it Zoe Chow?
It's
no,
she is
it's-
stealing it.
God,
She is
damn it.
so good in this.
Coming out of nowhere and stealing the show from returning characters.
Oh god, watching
the bit with Ron Offerman
Yes.
complimenting her food, and she's like, "Fuck, somebody gets it. It's a fucking Nazi.
It's a not. You can see it on her face too. Of like, no, why are you the one getting it?
Why are you the one that gets
the
it?"
slow. It's like partway through the episode, Nick and I, when they have the protesters show up and the protest goes so wrong,
Yeah.
like it's almost
Uh-huh.
it's
Free
like
speech.
free speech, like immediately. And Nick and I, like, we had a moment of like, okay, I've met Rob Thomas, and I'm gonna trust. I mean, I know he's not writing every episode of this show, but I'm gonna trust that he's not in charge of a fucking show where we're about to make the example of this that both sides suck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
I was
sure
worried
enough,
about
they
that
don't.
too.
sure
Really
enough.
worried they were going to do that, and they don't. And I love that the
They-
reveal of
look,
it
what-
is poisoning all of them, so that they have to put their masks
It's a
down.
double reveal though, because it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we
But
went,
yes.
oh man, we accidentally poisoned the protesters. Oh wait, the protesters were actually other not.
Yeah,
Same
the bit
same team.
when they come in and yell, and it's like, "Yeah, this is great, man." The Proud Boys showed up and they're beating up a pro. He's like, "Oh no, those are our guys."
Those are our guys.
Yeah, the look on the kid from Reboot's face of like,
Yeah.
oh god, and
They're
then
like,
Offerman like,
he's-
classic false flag, good job. Yeah.
John Kid.
because this kid is trying to be. He wants to be the approachable. He wants to make it all palatable. He wants to be on TV.
Yeah, he's
And
the,
he's like
Sean,
I'm.
what's his name? Like,
Yeah,
or what's the senator that's sort of like fucking like white supremacy? He's like the Tucker Carlson
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
white supremacy.
Yeah. He's like he just wants. He's like, just no. We're gonna have
Matt
dialogue
Gaetz.
and
Is that who I'm thinking
yeah.
of?
Matt
Yeah.
Gaetz or Richard
like-
Spence that got punched in the face.
Richard Spencer,
Yeah.
I
But
think
he's-
is yeah.
But he's too stupid to be that. He's dumber even than Richard Spencer.
Man, we have too many like white supremacists in politics. I feel
God,
like I'm getting
we
three
do.
of them
Yes, we do.
confused.
Watching
Yeah.
watching Adam Scott just like, Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I basically am the every like talking to him and like, yeah, kid, okay.
Man, that bit, I knew what he was doing, but it was still so great when he's basically and he looks at the girls, he's like, lying. He's like acting.
acting.
That was so
Yes.
good.
And
Yep.
well,
Yep.
it's because him turning around on the acting thing of like he obviously didn't tell his kids,
Yeah.
the kids that he teached,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
but then he kind of turns it around of like he was like doing that play against his will, like he didn't really want to do
Mhm.
it, but then suddenly
Mhm.
he kind of got into it again of like he remembers what he liked about acting. He didn't
Right.
like the job, but he liked the activity.
Well, and it's the
Yeah.
first time in his entire life that we've ever seen him show anyone the "Are we having fun yet?" clip
Yes.
and enjoy it at
Yes.
all. At
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it really, man, it felt like
It's
a
a
real growth
huge moment
It
for him at
really
the end of
big.
that.
Yeah. It
And
is.
Jennifer
It is.
Garner
Garner,
continues to be fucking amazing.
I love that they made
Yeah,
Jennifer
she's great.
Garner is the insecure one in the relationship because she
Yes,
just got
right?
cheated on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you are dating a
You're
teacher
you're
that works as a craft
Mhm.
service. The
You are so far above his level. You are amazingly hot. You're a successful producer. Like he should be on his knees.
Right.
you should like the idea that you are insecure about him liking you is insane.
Yeah.
But I get it
Yeah.
because
Yeah. No, because she just got cheated on by her asshole
yeah,
boyfriend. Yeah.
and that she's a regular person.
Well,
Like
and she's usually
Yeah.
around like movie star actors, and
Yeah.
she's not
Yeah.
used to being pretty.
she's
Really
not
pretty.
Yeah.
no, she's not used to
Right.
being like the hottest person in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but also that's what made me think, and I told Les this. Oh well, he would never cheat on you unless
They're gonna have Lindsay
Yeah.
Kaplan come back in the last episode
Oh
or
God,
something.
I'll be
If
so mad. I'll be
just
so
right?
mad.
shit's really on lock for Adam Scott, I bet they bring back Kaplan.
yes.
Oh, I think you're probably right. Oh, that sucks. Oh, by the way, Dick, not his name's not Dick.
It's not
What's his name in the
Casablancas,
show?
but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shit.
You know,
Kyle?
yeah.
No,
Kyle. It is Kyle. Yes.
he feels like a
Kyle is correct, I believe. Going out to the protesters and joining them and being the most awkward fit, like his
I didn't
whole
know-
need to
I
be
think-
liked is also
I had a hard
great.
time figuring out what his motivation. At first, I thought he was just I was going to take a break, go out there and protest so I can read up on
Yeah.
this Othello part.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what
Which
it was.
part
And
are
then
you
he sort of
going
got
for,
caught up in it.
Othello? What?
Yeah.
a major part. Like when he realizes outside, like I should not tell them. Fuck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look at like a race. It's a race swapped Othello, and I'm like, I don't know. Does that make it better?
Yeah, that makes it totally fine. Like, oh, it doesn't.
No, I don't think so. I feel like it doesn't, but then again,
Yeah. This was a great episode.
I guess
and
that's why I'm not a typical
sad.
Hollywood type.
I'm sad there's only
You.
6 of these. Like we only have 3
Aw.
more of these.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
And
great. They can just
I mean,
keep going.
There's no way they're gonna make more, right? There's no way.
No, I
Look,
feel like,
like
it may be done.
It's a
As
miracle
some-
we got these 6.
As someone who is watching the first season and not even done with it yet, and watching the new stuff, I don't have the nostalgic lens. I actually think the new season is funnier.
I think you're right. I think the
Well,
new
I
season's
agree.
stronger.
I agree. Well, all of them now are that these guys have all worked on a ton of different stuff, and their craft is honed
It's
too.
home. It's a slicker. You're
writers-
right. It's oiled.
writers to actors, like
It's
everybody.
an better oiled machine. Like yeah,
Which is why I think there's no way they're gonna do more of it, because all these guys are now in demand. Like everyone on the
Yes.
show now can do other things. It's a miracle we got what we got. All right, let's jump over and talk about The Mandalorian.
yeah. What?
Really, you're done. You're out of the. You know why? I know why. You hated Andor in a different way than I did, and this was this was the Andor episode of The Mandalorian.
Holy fuck! It is.
I saw people on my Facebook complain both directions of like it's reminding me of Andor, which I hated, and it's ruining Mandalorian, or it's reminding me of Andor, which I loved, and reminding me why Mandalorian. It's hilarious. It seems like nobody liked this week.
It was a no win. But also, this was done before like they probably didn't see Andor before they made this episode. This was probably not a response. It just happened to fall into that category.
Man, this is that episode of Boba Fett that is just the Mandalorian.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, imagine that happened in Mandalorian. Only the episode is about some dude you don't know the name of, and I swear to God,
How does it feel when they do it to you, Mandalorian?
I
what
gotta
sucks is
say,
that it opens strong. It opens with a pretty cool TIE interceptor fight.
that TIE fight, yeah.
Yeah, and then it closes strong with the redeeming ceremony where Bo-Katan gets redeemed accidentally because she reveals
She's
like
She's like, I don't give a shit. They're like, no, you're one of us now. She's like,
No, but that's
okay.
what's the rules. That's the rules. What's
Yeah.
what it says.
What would have been amazing, and I kind of am disappointed that she didn't do it, is for her to just take her helmet off right then. Here, fuck
you. Yeah, right. Then again, she is in the middle of a Death
Yeah.
Watch terrorist group. Like,
Right. You're like, you know what? I'm not gonna fuck with you people right
and
now. There's only
Mando
one of
was
me.
like, "This will be easier if you just keep the helmet on, please."
Yeah, that's true. Um, I am going to I'm going to defend the main episode. I actually thought if Andor was more like this, I would have liked Andor a little bit better because this was still felt like fucking Star Wars. Andor was so grim, it felt like watching an FX drama. And this felt more like, oh no, this is. I mean, it is still like the weird, bureaucracy Terry Gilliam shit that I don't think belongs in Star Wars. And I sure as fuck don't want Star Wars to be about how the rebels and the Imperials are basically the same because what the fuck is that?
That's so weird.
But I get what they're trying to do, and at least like they had like glowy popsicles and there were aliens and all that shit. So it's like the trappings of Star Wars were still there, and I will give them credit for that.
Well, the idea of the amnesty program is an interesting
Mhm.
idea for war
Yeah.
criminals that were like because there's a bunch of people in the Empire that did that shit because like, hey, it was either do this or get blasted in the fucking face. Like, I didn't
Right.
really have a lot of.
They're like, yeah, I watched Vader choke out 3 of my superior officers, so I knew what my options were.
Yeah, that's the quitting was not really on the table.
What if I
Yeah.
told you it was just one officer, but with a beard and then or mustache and then a beard?
In the beer, we just kept switching them out. The
Vader can actually force choke people. We just let it's easier to let
just
him
let him think of that. This is Steve's fifth time.
But so I didn't hate this episode as much as everyone else, but also I think that was because I was braced for it because everyone was talking about how it was different. And so I went in like, okay, so this is going to be this. And there was stuff I liked. The ending bit where she entrapped him and sold him out. I was like, oh, that's fucking evil.
It's dark and it makes sense of like, okay, well, he knew too much and they needed to wipe his mind or whatever. And I
Yeah.
was like, cool, just shoot him. Like,
Yeah,
I don't,
that's
I,
fair. That's fair.
I
I
really
I
don't get what but also showing the rebels name them like, oh, that's all right, L-52. I'm like, dude, he has a name.
Yeah,
What
calling them basically turning them into
what
droids was fucked up.
what
Yeah.
the fuck? Like,
Yeah. That is messed up. I will absolutely grant you that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and say it was a great episode. I did think that most of it I was like, why am I watching this? But I still preferred it to most of Andor. So
sure.
let's jump over and talk about The Last of Us, the finale of Last of
Indeed.
Us. Man, I have not played the game, so I did not know what the ending was gonna be.
How'd you like it?
And it was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought this was so good. Because there's always going to be a twist. There's always be something, and
Mhm.
so first of all, finding out Marlene was alive was a big surprise. I thought Marlene was long gone.
Well, I mean, it's such a dangerous world, and
Yeah,
like even she says, like it took fucking 5 dudes to like whose whole job was to protect me, and I still almost died getting
Mhm.
here.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool to see her again. I like that actress, and I thought she did a good job. But the big reveal that sort of like that Ellie was a sacrifice.
Yeah.
I should have seen coming. I didn't. I thought it was gonna be something else, and the notion of I guess there's some controversy around the ending of the video game because people are like, "Oh, Joel sacrificed all of humanity just for Ellie," and I'm like, I get it. I get where you're coming from. Like, yes, one
Oh
person,
no.
it's the needs of the
Well,
many outweigh the needs of few, all that kind of thing. But I'm like, man, there's no Joel absolutely made the right call for him. Like, that's what he should have
oh,
done.
see, because that's what I really like about the ending is that you realize in the game you're playing as, and it slowly reveals it too, is that Joel is the bad guy. He's selfish and can only make the decision that's right for him. It does not. It's also like they said, like, hey, let's let her decide, and he knows Ellie will sacrifice herself for the rest of the world and will not let her do it. Uh and the yeah, the idea of something so evil, like something just fucking destroying the last hope of humanity because you can't let go of another daughter. Uh
I
but
come at
it's
this a
based
different. I
but it's
I
based
come at
in
this a different
love.
way. I come at this a different way. and maybe it's because I'm a dad, I'd have made the same decision Joel made in the same amount of time. And
Yeah,
especially
no, it's
given what he's seen of humanity,
he can't make a different decision.
well, and why would he? Like,
No.
there's
Oh,
no way
yeah.
he could sacrifice the
Well,
one
also even
person.
just the fireflies of like, well, fuck humanity then. What's
Yeah,
human? Like, I'm at one town, Tommy's town, that's kind of cool, but fuck,
yeah,
fuck it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I like
and
that's I don't see Joel as the bad guy in this. I'm like, no, the Fireflies were going to cut open an innocent girl without giving her a choice. Like they could at least have let her choose, but they didn't because Joel's afraid that she would make the sacrifice decision. They're afraid she
fireflies are
won't.
won't. Yeah,
And so they're sacrificing her without her will. Joel is saving her against her will. And if I have to balance the two of those, I'm going with Joel. Yeah, I am
sure.
all about Joel's decision here. I'm like, man,
Well,
it's
I love
dark.
that Marlene is even like, I am the only one that understands what I'm like, and if you were to go with it, she is balancing out, and she hasn't spent time with Ellie. It's her
Yeah,
friend's daughter, and she
yeah,
feels broken up about it, but it's not the same. And
right.
she gets over her personal shit to make what's the decision that's right for the world. And because she understands where Joel is coming from, lets him live. If she was smart, she would have just fucking never let Joel wake up.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the thing. This is the thing I don't understand. If you're willing to sacrifice Ellie, you should be willing to sacrifice Joel.
Well,
Like,
because Marlene thinks she's the good person in all of this. Like
right, right.
she thinks that because she feels bad about sacrificing Ellie, that it's
Hmm.
different.
Yeah.
And because Joel worked so hard, and she's right, she owes him. Uh
Mm.
and I was like, dude, don't don't half measure this. If you're gonna
Yeah.
do this, do it all the way.
Yep. Yep. I mean, that's a different kind of dark ending too. I mean, there's also the question
Yes.
of whether it even would have worked. Like the doctor thinks that'll work. He doesn't actually know.
Well, it's the only chance they have, and I love that, like, well, we have to, also the way the show starts it with the birth is different, and, we don't see that in the game, and it
Yeah.
has the voice actress for Ellie in the games as the
Yeah.
mom, which is pretty
Which
cool.
makes sense. She gave birth to the character in two ways, both
Yeah, in 2 ways.
creating her for
Pretty
the
neat.
video game and actually birthing the character. Yeah,
Also, it
that
gives
was a
you
pretty cool little
gives
nod.
you a kind of a in-game end story explanation for why she might be immune of like,
Yeah,
okay, she had cordyceps in birth, like they were,
yeah.
like she grew to adapt to them or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe they
So
were
here's
filtered through the umbilical cord.
so here's my question. If they if Ellie's immunity developed from that, and they don't know that it did, but if it did, so there's a possibility that you could create more Ellies.
There is, yes, but
You
again,
just have to be willing to have
you'd have to do some dark, fucked up shit.
you have to have pregnant women be like, okay, yes, I'm going to die, and you're going to raise my baby, and my baby's going to be immune. Like that's a pretty fucked up thing to ask. But again,
Oh,
it's a consent thing. It is a
yeah.
like it's the question of asking, and I think that's where ultimately I come down with Joel. Like when Joel was on his rampage, there was no part of me that was like, oh no, Joel, what are you doing? I was like, yeah, fuck you, get these people. These people
No,
are
for
evil.
me, and even in the game, I thought this was when the option was presented. I'm like, oh no, like there's no wondering. There's like Joel can only do like
Yeah,
we've seen Joel over hours now, and from what the audience knows of Joel is like when she says, "I you think I want to do this? I have no choice," and Joel just looks at her and goes, "I do,"
yeah,
and I was like,
yep,
oh fuck,
yep, yeah.
that's when I was like, you need to kill him right
Right
now,
now, yeah,
or you
yeah,
are.
yeah. No, it was a fantastic ending, and it was a great bit of like,
And the way they play the shootout is like they play it quiet over it and just kind of like small music, like it's a foregone conclusion, like it's an afterthought. Like this is
oh yeah,
just yeah, one guy surrenders and Joel pops him anyway. Like and at this
yeah,
point it is
yep.
just we're not shocked by any of this. This is
Well, no, and
just
why? And again, that's because Joel isn't stupid. He knows they'll come after him.
right. And yeah, Marlene begging for her life, like
Yeah,
please, and he's just like just come after her.
and he's right. He's
He's
absolutely right to do
so
it. Yeah,
well, but because he makes the right decision. Marlene still struggling with being good.
yeah.
Joel doesn't struggle with that.
No, he's like, I don't care if I'm good or bad. I know I'm doing what is right for Ellie.
Me. And for
Yeah.
or for me,
I
really. I
mean,
mean, it says in
yeah,
Ellie, but really
yeah,
it's because he can't let go. But
yeah, that's true.
I love that when he does something, yeah, I'm gonna fucking kill everyone here. I'm
Yeah,
not letting any of you come back to like come at me. The
yeah,
yeah, this is what the whole story builds up to, and I think it delivers it as well as it does in the game as far as doing something making the whole journey basically pointless, but
Mhm.
in such a way that is born of a love from a character, and how love can make you do great things and love can make you do just awful things.
Well, the thing is, it's as nihilistic in its way as Walking Dead, even more so, but it's better in every
It's
way.
better. It's more nuanced. It's more
Yeah.
nuanced because it's like it's not just because it's you. You're right. There's no point in when you're like, nah, Joel. This is. It's not so much even being the right decision. It's the only decision he can make. There's
Yeah.
no other room for like. There's no. If he would have done something different, if he had let her, as an audience, we'd have gone, that's not right. That's not the Joel we know.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it wouldn't have
Yeah.
rung. Yeah, it's as far as delivering at the end, like as far as HBO goes, like this is the opposite of whatever Daenerys was doing by burning that entire fucking village.
Yeah.
Of like, nope, this is exactly what Joel would do, and I don't need it explained to me. I just
Yeah. Yeah. Well, part 2, they've said they're going to do more than one season of. They're going to break it up a little more, so we'll see. I'm looking forward to
makes
seeing more.
sense.
I've never played
Part two
part
has
2 as a game. I'm
Part two
excited
has
to
more
see it.
has more characters. You actually follow other characters than Ellie and Joel. And it has a longer, like this one takes over a course of a year, and that
Mhm.
one does take over, I think, a longer period of time, and just has more factions and stuff going on.
Well, this took 2 years. Does that mean we're going to get a 10th episode that's Benjamin Bratt reacting to what he was doing the whole time that Joel and Ellie were?
No. That I would be like, Joel, it's the hook. It's the hook that brings
That
you.
brings you back.
Ellie's like, you were the fucking worst.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for us this week. Thank you to our
Ah.
listeners. Thank you to our patrons.
One last thing before we go.
Yes. Yes.
Lance Reddick died.
I saw.
No!
Yes. Age 60, man.
Yeah, natural causes.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it doesn't seem that Resident Evil was going to be the last thing he did.
Oh, thank God.
Well, it couldn't be. He was just in Vox Machina season 2.
Totally. Yeah. Okay. Thank God. My God.
Yeah,
Because he was absolutely
man.
the best part of that. He's frequently the best part of anything he was in.
Yeah.
But my God, there was nothing else good about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking tragic. Talk about an actor that, like, every single year you just want to yell, like, why don't people cast Lance Reddick in everything?
Well, that was an
He's
actor
great.
that he had to stand around and on many sets and go, I'm the best thing in this, and not
Mhm.
for the really good, not because I'm particularly good at what I do.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just in a thing that's not using me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, absolutely
Yeah.
tragic. Damn.
Yeah. That sucks.
So yeah, go everybody watch some Wire, watch some John Wick, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. I guess John Wick 4 will be one of his last performances, and he was always great in that. All right. Well, thank you, Les. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, Randy.
Thanks, dudes.
And until next time.
TV Dudes out. The TV Dudes is an independently run podcast out of Austin, Texas. We are exclusively listener supported. If you'd like to help us out, go to patreon.com/TVDudes.
You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TV Dudes. All the music for our show is done by our friend and original TV Dude Gregory J. Amani Smith.
To find out more about us, go to thetvdudes.com. I'm Randy Lander.
I'm Les Weiler.
And I'm Kyle Scott.
Thanks for listening.